And this deployed soldier came home to his wife, his jaw dropped. James entered his house incredibly excited to see his wife after all this while. But he was surprised to know that she was not there awaiting his return, proceeded to keep his bags aside and called out for her. That's when he heard something that sounded like whispers and muffled footsteps. James made his way toward the sound, and as he turned the corner, he was stunned. Personal Lieutenant James Miller from Texas finally got to come home after a long deployment. Little did he know about the irreversible surprise that lay in store for him. After an extremely long and tiresome journey, James couldn't wait to see his wife as it had been a year away from home, and the couple had made nearly 4 go through mutual friends. They fell in love almost immediately and have been happy with each other ever since. At least that's what James thought. They soon got married and things were going quite well for a while. Soon after their marriage, James received the news that he was being deployed to Afghanistan. This news was a little difficult for a newly married couple, as James would be gone for almost 6 months. But Sarah knew her husband had a duty to the country, and she sadly bid him adieu. But life can certainly throw you the most unexpected changes as in the past. Sarah found the long distance increasingly hard, even more than James. This bothered her tremendously, as she couldn't figure out why it didn't find the long distance as hard as she did. Sarah felt like maybe James didn't care that much about her. The tension between the two slowly began tearing them apart as things went from bad to worse. After nearly 3 months into his deployment, James noticed that Sarah was behaving differently. This was when the distance was taking a major toll on Sarah. She would be constantly annoyed at James, and it felt like he was always saying the wrong things. The next few months were only going to get increasingly tough, but James had no idea of what lay ahead of them. With their relationship already on the rocks, James soon learned that his deployment would be extended for an additional 6 months. However, James didn't worry about it too much, as he was truly devoted to Sarah and was confident that her feelings were the same. It was no surprise that James' extended deployment hit Sarah even harder. James even stated that she completely broke down on the phone. Sarah had already made up her mind that she wanted to distance herself from him. As this went on, the secrets and lies kept building up and James was completely oblivious. As James was making his way home after being away for so long, all these lies were about to hit him hard. All James could think of was coming home to embrace his loving wife. As soon as he got home, James called out for Sarah, but there was no reply. After calling out a few more times, James started to get a little worried. That's when he heard whispers. James then heard a little deep voice that seemed to be from the kitchen. As he entered, he was astonished to see a gathering of close friends and family around his wife. But what she was holding left James speechless. Sarah was holding a baby. Just as James was about to make his way toward her, he heard another cry from across the room. James then saw his mom make her way towards Sarah to settle the other baby on her lap. Sarah had given birth to twins in James' absence. He immediately ran towards her, completely dumbfounded. With tear-filled eyes, James asked Sarah if this was the reason she was so upset with him. Sarah said yes, as she wanted James to be home for the due date. Sarah even mentioned that she refrained from telling James she didn't want to upset him further. Sarah went on to tell James that she wanted to surprise him, but she later thought that she should have told him. James then realized that all of Sarah's reactions made sense. He scolded her a little for not telling her, but James couldn't stay mad as he knew Sarah thought she was doing the right thing for his sake. James couldn't imagine what Sarah must have gone through, but the moment he saw his twins, James realized was now for his father and was ecstatic. James has faith in Sarah, and their relationship certainly paid off in the best way possible.